gets it inside 50 again. Tarrant has done it! Tarrant!
Kick 15, and finally starting to bear fruit. He's kicked 3, they lead by 41. Tarrant peeling back. Tarrant, good strong mark. Yeah, he's lifted. He squeezes it in. He's got 4, and they're showing no mercy.
That's the only shot of the Tarrant brothers together in a football scenario. Tonight we've got them both here for the first time live in an interview situation. Chris, Robbie, welcome to EMT.
Thanks, mate.
Great to have you, boys.
Yeah, thanks, Ed.
Mate, what was it like watching your brother go berserk on the weekend and finally get what he deserved down the football ground?
Yeah, it was exciting. You know, obviously, Robbie, with his injuries, hasn't had the opportunity to play a fair bit over the last few years, but as a brother and as a older brother to Robbie, I was sitting back and I was extremely happy for him.
Mate, I remember when you were a little bloke running around the rooms watching your big brother play. Was it great to finally get those goals and take those marks on the weekend?
Yeah, look, it was a good reward for effort. You know, it hasn't been an easy road, but you know, to even playing the win that we had was just unbelievable. Here it is, taking the marks there and kicking the goals. Mate, you came into this game having kicked 1 career goal. You kicked 4. You should have had 5. You had 1 taken off you by the umpires from a dodgy decision. But particularly this one, kicking a banana from the pocket in a crucial moment, and you can see that the excitement there and Drew Petrie getting across to you. What was it like? It was funny, actually. Drew, we were working on it during the week, and he came up to me and he goes, you know, I think you should snap this. And it actually, I was going to kick a drop punt, but you know, I just managed to hit it right, and it went through. And you know, the crowd, although it wasn't huge, they were really vocal, and yeah, you know, it was a good win.
They were up and going. Tell me about the shoulder reconstructions. You had 4 really before you got going, didn't you?
Yeah, so I had...
I said 2 on the weekend, I forgot you had 4.
Yeah, I had 4 before my first game, so as I said before, I got off to a slow start, and you know, finally getting out there now, which is good. Did
you ever think you'd give it away, that you just thought, OK, I'm one of those blokes, I'm just not going to get out there?
No, not really. And, you know, I'm pretty competitive, and you know, I thought, you know, I'll give it my best shot until I'm pretty much told that, you know, I'm no longer required, and hopefully, you know, I can stay out there for a bit longer and continue to, you know, show something. And the Kangas showed great faith. They re-signed you to a second contract without even playing a senior game. That's fantastic. Yeah, enormous faith, and you know, I've got a lot to repay them, and they've stuck by me through, you know, not just football stuff, but through a lot of things, and you know, I couldn't speak highly enough of the club. Chris, you haven't done a whole lot of media over the journey. I can understand why, because we were going through the archives, and I think this was your first ever appearance on television. It was my old show, The Footy Show, with Sam Newman. You were 20 years of age, and I think the year was 2001. Have a look at this.
Giving him this as a, you know, present from the Pies, and for, you know, for a great 150th, mate, just... Jeez, Ed, get that bubble again, will you? That's... And if you want to have another whack, mate, come right ahead. Come right ahead. Hang on.
Jesus Christ. Hang on, Chris. It's got to be fast.
Come over with me, huh? Did you think this was what was going on?
You said you'd look after me. It took about a few days to convince me to get on the show, because I'm a pretty shy type of person, and you see why. And I was absolutely I was packing my dacks there too. I didn't know what was going on.
Mate, tell us about the early days at Collingwood. You were an excitement machine, All-Australian in 2002, 2003. Took the mark of the year. You're the pin-up boy at Collingwood, and then it just didn't quite click for you at different stages. And you seemed to be almost a troubled soul there for a while. You went to Fremantle, and you've come back just this, you know, pillar of society at the club. You're one of the best blokes we've ever had at Collingwood. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I love the early days. Even though, look, there was a few hiccups along the way and things I probably learnt from those incidents, but I was still playing in those big crowds and playing up forward and playing some great games along the way in terms of team games and in front of the prelim finals against Adelaide and Port Adelaide, which were two of the loudest games I've played in. Those memories always stick with me, and unfortunately lost my way there a little bit.
Yeah.
For reasons probably in my control, where I just let go a little bit and wasn't doing everything I was when I was reaching those All-Australian years. So I took...
Did you just get sick of it, or...?
It's
because a couple of times, early on in your career, I remember you came down to my house down the beach and we had to try and coax you back to the club. I think you were 18 or 19, was after your first year. Was it just that you didn't quite know whether you wanted to be in it or not?
Yeah, I think I was going through that transition period of when I first started. Football was still going through. People were working when I first got down to the club, and I became really professional in the early 2000s and sort of started being full-time, and guys stopped going out. Because I remember early days we used to go out and there used to be 20 guys in the team. You used to see other teams out, and it was just the way it was. And it probably took me a while to adjust to the professionalism of AFL football, I suppose, and it took me longer than other guys. Other guys adjusted really well. It just took me a little bit longer, and my form showed because I wasn't doing everything possible to reach the top. And once I rediscovered the work ethic and the passion to play again, it sort of started turning around and clicking for me.
Your wife Lauren's been a fantastic influence on you. At least we're saying that, as something happened, and Lauren's been great. You went over to Fremantle, and you had a great time at Fremantle. And you really found a new position in the back line. And as I said, you've just come back a contented, great bloke at a football club to have, whereas when you left at Collingwood, we're probably happy to shut the door behind you. Yes, I don't blame you either. It was I was upset, I must admit. It was a roller coaster ride, you could say. Lauren, I mean, obviously having some support with my wife as well, and being married for a few years now certainly does help, having a stable time at home, and also just realising what you're missing out on when you do leave a club like Collingwood. I know guys, they come and go, and unfortunately there's not many guys who go and be able to come back, and I'm one of those guys who has, and it's just a club where you don't get that feeling of playing in front of a crowd anywhere else, and that's just the reality of it. It's an amazing place to be. You can leave for reasons of money or whatever you want to do, but it's a club that's you will not get the same feeling of playing anywhere else in the AFL. I don't think. Can you lock a few blokes in the locker room tomorrow and just say that to them? Okay, for me, do that. I tell them all the time. I say, look, you will not want to leave this club. You will regret it. Robbie, as a young kid, what was it like watching your big brother play? Because I'm going to roll a couple of... Were you happen to be at the Queen's birthday game when the young bloke went berserk and took two of the best marks ever? I'm not sure which... if I was at that one, or I think he played another one where he kicked a few goals. So I was at one of them, and I tried to get down as much as I can. But looking back now, it's probably a bit surreal to, grow up watching, your older brother play AFL and really play well at the level, and, Because there's 9 years difference between you. So I think it's the record for brothers in the AFL, the difference in age group, certainly at the moment. Let's have a look at those two marks, Taz. Maybe take us through it. You're a young tearaway forward. You've ended up being down in the back line. Robbie started in the back line. He's moved forward. Yeah, but this was the mark of the year. That was a Tarkin Lockyer floater, and managed to get a good run at, and it's all about the landing, Ed. You have to land on your back or something to make it look a bit better. This was even better. Watch this one. You've gone for the mark, and then the second effort. I think I was still running on a high from that first mark, and there's a good mate of mine, Andrew Dimartina, there, whispering something in my ear. Yeah. But it was good times. I love my time as a forward. It's a buzz when you're marking like that. I can't do it anymore. I can barely get off the ground, probably just for a spoil. But playing forward, especially in front of a big crowd like that, it's a great feeling. You used to get to jump early. We'll have a look. There's one that you took a beauty at Etihad Stadium over Matthew Scarlett. You had a couple over Matthew Scarlett, but let's have a look at this one because I got very excited.
Brody Holland, that's 29. Out to Burns. Big effort for the Pies here. A long kick. Tarrant! Oh! That'll hurt. That'll hurt for T. Well, he doesn't want to have it again, I bet you. That won't hurt, dude. Don't worry about that. That won't hurt.
Mark, I went the early yell for you there, mate.
Was that the end word?
What's it like when you set yourself like that and you go and look at the crowd behind you there?
You just hope you don't break something on the way down. Really, when you've got it, the best feeling is then lining up for goal and the crowd see the replay on the big screen and they cheer, and it's a pretty awesome feeling.
Hey Robbie, tell me about last week for the club. The president was getting smashed in the media. The CEO had resigned a couple of weeks earlier. The coach looked as grumpy as he's ever looked. Everyone seemed to be on tenterhooks down at the club, and you put it all together.
Yeah, look, it was a massive week, and you know the Adelaide game was huge in our season. So to be honest, we didn't really focus too much on sort of what Adelaide did, just the stuff that we could sort of control. And to come out in the midfield, you know, it started with them, and they really just got on top and dominated throughout the day. And the pleasing thing was that when they challenged us in the third quarter, we were able to respond, and you know, it was a good club win and something that you know we really needed at that time.
Good on you, boys, and it's been a big summer for all three of us. We all lost our fathers over the summer. I think you were both overseas, where when news came through that your dad was really crook. How was that for you? Was that something that you know, obviously knocks everybody around? But how was that moment for you, Chris? You flew back. I think you came back as well, Robbie, did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was in Utah in our training camp. So yeah, look, it's never easy, and you know, it's something that you know you think about every day. But you know, you cherish the memories that you have, and you move on, and
is it sort of focused you up a bit as well for your footy? Is it something that you grow up, don't you? When you, even an old bloke like me, I lost my dad, you know, I think a couple of weeks after your father passed away, and you do. It just changes your philosophy on things, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it puts things in perspective too, and you realise that football is just a part of your life, and there's a bigger picture to your life. And that's really what I got out of it. And
our dad loved football. He coached myself during my junior career, and unfortunately it was before my 250th game, where we knew it only had a short period of time to go, and over in Adelaide, so it was a tough period, I suppose, obviously. And I remember just going into an interview. I was just about to do one with good friend Scotty Cummings, and he was just interviewing me, and just beforehand he's like, I knew something was wrong. Obviously I was you know, quite upset, and he got me through it, which was okay, that little period. But yeah, then obviously the grand final as well, we knew that was going to be his last game that he was going to watch. So that was a moment, you know, I was hoping just for that something extra on that day, but unfortunately it didn't pay off. But I'm pretty sure he's proud of us.
Oh, mate, no doubt. Hey, boys, thanks very much, guys, for sharing a personal moment, but you really deserve it. Robbie, 4 reconstructions. You've been around footy clubs since you were about 8 or 9 years of age, hanging around with your brother. You're making a name for yourself now. We really hope, everyone in the football world hopes that you really go forward and have a great career. And Chris, hopefully you'll be back this week, mate. You've been a bit sore, but one last crack maybe at a premiership and get that medallion you deserve.
That's it.
Good on you, mate. We've got a couple of tweets for you guys as well, so let's have a look at the tweets that have come up. AFL needs to introduce a brother-in-arms rule. Yes, I reckon so too, as long as you come to Collingwood. So the brothers can play at the same club at the same stage of their career. Oh, what do you reckon, boys? It'd be great, wouldn't it?
It'd be fantastic. I remember, as you were saying, Robbie, in his younger days, I used to, the 9-year gap, I used to throw him around a little bit when he's younger, but now he's actually got bigger than me, so fortunately he got the big arse and I got the big arms, so it's all right.
Got the guns. Who's got the bigger arms, Ed? Well, there you go. Robbie's got the bigger lemonade and you've got the big guns, right?
That's it.
Boys, it's been great to have you on here. Good luck, as I said, for the rest of the season.